People keep talking about how Canelo Alvarez was looking like hot trash in his fight with Triple G. As you guys know, I didn't watch the fight, so I'm only going on what people come and tell me about the fight. But I seen little glimpses of it. But the main thing is the fact that a 32-year-old fighter got gassed out with a 40-year-old fighter, and being how boxing goes, the younger fighter is supposed to stop the older fighter, especially when somebody has shown signs of aging and slowing down as much as Triple G. So how come Canelo Alvarez didn't have the gas and didn't have the mustard to take out a Triple G? And I think when it comes to that answer, you got to pivot over to Oscar De La Hoya and his recent comments about steroid use. And he's saying, look, these guys just don't take steroids for strength. They take steroids for conditioning. You know what I'm saying? To be able to last inside of the ring. Now, Oscar De La Hoya also goes on to talk about how Canelo had concerns about his stamina going into the Triple G fight. Why would Canelo have concerns about his stamina going into the fight ahead of time? Why was he concerned about that before it actually happened? It's very simple, because I think this time around, Canelo didn't juice. Because his reputation, especially what's going on with him now, especially losing to Bivol, especially with the no Mexican clause and all this other stuff, he could not afford to pop dirty again, because his career would fall further down in the sewer than it already is. So I believe that he went into this fight somewhat semi-clean. Okay? And this is why you've seen a fatigued Canelo Alvarez. You've seen the same Canelo Alvarez in the fight with Triple G. That was the same Canelo Alvarez prior to taking steroids. Because even Timothy Bradley told you himself. He said, I remember when Canelo Alvarez used to get tired. Canelo Alvarez used to get fatigued. Canelo getting fatigued is nothing new in his career. It's always been a problem, and then all of a sudden, it disappeared. Remember that? His cardiovascular problems, it disappeared. Then it showed back up in this Triple G fight where the guy's 40-year-old and he's 32. And I think that's simply because he couldn't take no juice. What else is there? Because he's had stamina issues since the beginning of his career. He got on that juice, and all of a sudden, just like Timothy Bradley said, it went away. Now it comes back up evident in the Triple G fight. It's not just that he's playing golf. It's just that, with the scandals and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys don't look the same once they get popped dirty. But the truth of the matter is he couldn't do all the steroids that he want because Canelo was up under the public's eye, and it just need one more scandal for his house of cards to completely, crumble down to the ground. And that's why you seen him gas like that with a 40-year-old Triple G, because he's always had those issues. He just medicated those issues with a clenbuterol. Fact. So when you see a sluggish, old-ass looking Canelo Alvarez who looked just as much as 40 as Triple G, Oscar De La Hoya told you what it is. Steroids for conditioning. And that's really all it is at the end of the day. So now it's to the point, if Canelo can't do take his little power pellets or something like that, he's going to look like that. And this is the thing. This is what you got to ask yourself. That's a 40-year-old fighter right there that he looked like that against. This is why Oscar De La Hoya said, I think any Mexican fighter gives Canelo Alvarez problems. He said he thinks any Mexican fighter gives Canelo Alvarez problems. And you know what, you're going to have to agree with him, especially when he's going life or death like he did with Triple G inside that ring. And once again, that was a guy that you were supposed to guarantee to stop, and you didn't stop him. I always said it was a lose-lose situation, because if you beat him, you beat the old Triple G. If you go life or death with him, or if you struggle with him, once again, that looked bad because it's an old Triple G. So there really was no winning. Went this wild to avoid the fact that he didn't want to fight Bivol. And he's not going to return to Bivol. And he's not going to fight a David Benavidez. And he's not going to fight a Charlo. And he's not going to fight a this. And he's not going to fight. And in that fight with Triple G, you now see why. Because that's more close to the reality of what Canelo Alvarez really is more than anything else. All these other fake fights, these, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put it like this. You can drop Kovalev, but you can't stop a 40-year-old Triple G. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Wayne, I'm out.